Well, he is making his return to the ring tonight. One of the real tough nuts of the K1 Oceania, the Fighting Haddara. Hammer, one of the only men to have ever gone the distance with the great K1 World Champion Mark Hunt, the Fighting Haddara. And how will he go here tonight against one of the big hitters in the form of the Coconut Crusher, Aumitagi? It's anyone's for the taking, Hammer.
Certainly is, Michael, and I can tell you what, Haddara is going to have his hands full when Aumitagi steps in the ring. He's a powerhouse fighter with big bombing hands, and he pulls out the occasional flashy kick as well.
Fadi, the Fighting Haddara, tipping the scales at last night's weigh-in at 106 kilos even. But he is going up against the biggest man here tonight in the form of Aumitagi at 131 kilos. But don't forget, folks, often Fadi Haddara has given away power, given away weight, but he has never, or I've never seen him dropped, Hammer. I've never seen him knocked out.
Oh, he has the heart of a lion, Haddara, to use a well-worn cliche, but he is a fighter that takes a lot to take down.
And speaking of a fighter who can take a lot and give it back, folks, the Coconut Crusher, Aumitagi. Highlights here of his fight against K1 Oceania champion Adam White. Aumitagi was actually cut badly in that fight and continued to really serve it up to White and giving him his toughest fight of the night when White went on to win the K1 Oceania, Hammer.
I'll tell you what, I remember him wiping the blood with his glove, looking at the blood on the glove.
Choice swear word in there.
And then he just went for it from there.
Well, always the entertainer, originally from South Auckland, now based in Mulgrave, Melbourne, training out of the Kelly Safe stables, and part of the Super Samoan group that exists of Mark Hunt, Ray Seppor, Ron Seppor, and of course Aumitagi. I had the privilege of spending a lot of time with him in Japan in December, and he's a hell of a guy, Hammer, and one hell of a power-packed fighter.
Well, and with the added incentive of trying to get over to Japan, geez, it's anyone's for the taking.
Let's go to Michael Roberts and Nikki.
Nick, the blue corner.
In the blue corner, he hails from Melbourne, a K1 Oceania quarter-finalist. He is one of the few men to ever go the distance with K1 World Champion Mark Hunt. He weighs in at 115 kilograms, making his return to K1 action. He is Fadi, the Fighting Haddara.
In the red corner, he hails from South Auckland, New Zealand, now based in Mulgrave, Melbourne, and fighting out of the Kelly Safe Gym. A former New Zealand heavyweight, Muay Thai champion, a two-time K1 Oceania quarter-finalist. He weighed in at a massive 132 kilograms. They call him the Coconut Crusher, Aumitagi.
Well, always the showman in centre ring, Aumitagi with Kelly Safe, Phil Fagan and Tukes in the corner. Third man in centre ring will be the bull, the raging bullnut, Malcolm Bullnut. And I tell you what, a couple of big bulls in centre ring at the moment, Hammer, Fadi Haddara and Aumitagi. This one is going to get wild.
Well, certainly Haddara is going to be wanting to use the perimeter of the ring, keep it light, keep moving, and just racking up the points, because he knows, and I'll bet the ranch on it, that certainly Aumitagi is going to be stalking forward. And what do you think, one or two overhand rights?
Oh, just a couple slipped in there from Clay. Let's listen in.
Welcome to center ring, gentlemen. Good, clean fight. Obey my instructions at all times. Is that clear? Okay, shake hands. Best man win. Good luck to both your fighters.
Last minute instructions there from Malcolm Bullner. I'm Michael Chavello, ringside with the Hammer, Mark Castanini. Hope you're enjoying it around Australia and New Zealand. Don't forget also, New Zealand fans, April 11, K1 New Zealand versus K1 Croatia at the ASB Stadium in Auckland, brought to you by Tarak Solak and Dixon McIver. And here we go, second semi-final of the K1 Oceania four-way threat, the winner of which will face Chris Chrysopolides. Outside thigh kick to open proceedings here from Fadi Haddara, the taller of the two. As the Hammer said, look out for the big coconut crackers off the right hand, the headache maker from Aumitagi. And you can bet they're going bananas over in South Auckland for him at the moment, Hammer.
A big hello to everyone in South Auckland.
Indeed, that's where all the best fighters in New Zealand come from.
They breed them tough over there, that's for sure.
Toughest breeding grounds in the world. And a tentative start here by both of these big fellas. Complete contrast to what we saw in the previous fight between Chrysopolides and Gawley. There's the overhand right from Aumitagi. Aumitagi, 132 kilos. He's so big he makes a beeping sound when he walks backwards, Hammer. He's a big boy, but he's a lovely fella.
He doesn't often walk backwards though, I think.
Oh, spinning heel kick there from Fadi Haddara. As the hammer said, he's not opposed to throwing the odd high kick. Big breath in centre ring there from Aumitagi, not trying to spend himself early on here. Walked right hand from Haddara, almost flew into a straight right from Aumitagi. And the crowd revelling in the showman that is the Coconut Crusher. Inside thigh kick from Aumitagi.
He does possess some good kicks, Aumitagi. I tell you, Michael, for a man of his size, he can certainly get the leg up, so to speak.
Indeed. Hard man to drop as well, Hammer, although the weakness in the path that has been exposed has been the body shots. That's what Mark Hunt caught him on the first ever K1 Oceania at the Crown. And could Haddara go to the body of Clay Aumitagi here? He's a hard man to drop, given his low centre of gravity. Inside fly kick from Haddara. Oh, the overhand right, smack bang on the kisser. And don't forget, folks, Mark Hunt couldn't drop Fadi Haddara over 5 rounds. Clay Aumitagi's going to have a tough time. Body shot there, off the lead hand from Aumitagi. Both men are orthodox fighters. Left foot forward, outside thigh kick there off the rear leg from Aumitagi. It's been a pretty even round first up.
It has. I was actually just thinking that, trying to make a decision on the score thus far. I'd call it even.
Overhand right fell short, so to the left hook for Aumitagi. They tie up like a pretzel over in the red corner. Malcolm Bullner keeping a close eye on proceedings and separates both men into the final stages of this first round.
Well, Haddara wants to get busy, wants to be up on the balls of his feet, popping the jab out perhaps a lot more, following up with a round kick or a push kick off the rear, rather than just waiting for Clay to push up forward. There's a high kick you mentioned earlier.
Into the jaw from Clay Aumitagi. Fadi Haddara walked right into it. Solid right hand, overhand left there from Aumitagi. And will it be enough to steal the round perhaps for the Coconut Crusher? Body kick there to the guts from Haddara. End of the first round, Hammer. How did you see it?
Give that one even, Michael. Certainly the kick does not make a round. But it was a good one that Aumitagi pulled out there. But I'll call that one even. We'll make it a 10-10. And we move into the second round to see how the boys progress.
And don't forget, as part of our proceedings here tonight, Hammer, you can pick your tongue up off the floor. The Ring Girls contest.
The Ring Girls contest, well.
How are his hands when he put it? Feel it? Yeah, well, don't let him fucking tag you, okay? Don't let him tag you, okay? Clean shots in there, mate. Don't forget the knees. As soon as you're getting close, fuck him, knee. Hang on, knee. Hang on, knee. I don't care if you fucking let you off. One bang. One knee, let go. Throw your right hand in there. Let him think your legs are coming. Let him think your legs are coming.
Just having a look at the action that transpired in the first round. There's the big overhand right from Aumitagi. Haddara willing him on, going, bring it on, big fella. I'll take that and a lot more. But that is certainly not a game plan for Haddara. There's no sense in taking, a pounding to show your strength. Basically, you've got to keep the points a-coming.
We're about to roll. Second round of action set for 3-3. K1 rules, the second semi-final of the K1 Oceania four-way threat tournament, the winner of which will face big Chris Chrysopolidis, a very fresh Chris Chrysopolidis in the final. An even 10-10 round and our unofficial scorecard. Beautiful Brazilian-style kick to open up proceedings there from Fadi Haddara. The Silver Fox Paul Fifield in the corner between rounds, Hammer, telling Fadi, don't forget the knees when Clay comes in close.
Of course, good advice from Fifield. Also telling him just to hang on for that little bit or until they're broken. Bending the rules is what it's all about.
A little bit of bending never goes astray. See the big bender, Gurkhan Ozcan later on. Can stand the man.
If there's someone who pushes the rules to the limit, it's certainly Ozcan.
Just to the edge and beyond. Fadi Haddara moving around, centre ring. And again, a tentative start by both of these two big fellas. Haddara looking to line up that round kick off the lead leg again. Aumitagi just trying to set himself with that right hand, the headache maker. Goes for the outside lead leg, follow-up turning back kick there from Aumitagi. Takes a deep breath, adjusts the trunks, and he's back into it. Inside thigh kick, didn't find the target there from Haddara.
It just surprises me, Michael, that Haddara doesn't actually pick up the pace a bit. He wants to throw out a little bit more rapid-fire technique, keep the points working up on the scorecards for him. That range is probably going to be the good game plan. Nice high kick there from Haddara.
Big head kick from Haddara, spinning back fist from the fighting Haddara.
The thing is with a spinning back fist, Michael, you want to set it up off something, maybe an inside thigh kick or a left hook, and then rotate through with that right spinning back fist. Don't just throw it on its own because it's way, way too predictable.
Comments from the hammer, Mark Castanini, ringside with myself, Michael Chavello. We're coming at you from the Vodafone Arena in Melbourne, and a Tarak Solak 10th year anniversary special event. Haddara now has Aumitagi backed against the ropes. Maybe the big fella struggling with the air at this stage in the round. 1 minute 50 down.
Haddara showing Aumitagi a hell of a lot of respect. You saw that he had a chance to actually go in and unload, but he was very tentative, Haddara. He does not want to get caught with any of those big bombing hands from Aumitagi.
Aumitagi allowing himself to be backed against the ropes again. Takes a high right round kick to the side of the neck. And you can hear Kelly Steve telling Clay to get a move on with it. Tries to drop it with the left hook, drops his left down to the breadbasket, and Haddara calling him on.
The knees is what Haddara wants to be doing at this range. There he goes, in close. You've got to work the knees. You know, there's no use in just hanging on and standing there, toe to toe, literally. If you've got that range, use it, bang the knees in, rack up some points.
Going after the breadbasket of Clay Aumitagi, Fadi Haddara into the final 20 seconds now of this round. Set for 3. Probing front kick there from Aumitagi. A few welts on that lead 5 here, courtesy of the leg kicks of Haddara. Turning left hand to end the round, Hammer.
To end the round, Paul Fifield actually interesting there. Fifield was calling the round down for Haddara. 15, 10 to go, and Haddara never really took advantage of that. Once you hear that call from your corner, you know there's 10 seconds to go. You want to just unleash. You've got nothing to lose. Go in, rack up some points. It is that is going to make the judge's decision. I'll give that one possibly just the way of Haddara. We'll make it a 9-10 round, and I give that round to Haddara purely because he was just that little bit busier than Aumitagi.
I'm flying at you now, you've got to be first, you've got to make sure that you're not hitting with one shot anymore. You've got to shake Fadi up, you've got to be 1-2. Okay? That's all you need. Keep covering. How is that up there? Alright? Use those hands, man. Catch it on the hands. Don't kick anymore. Your kicking's putting you off balance, brother. Okay? You're coming off balance. He's catching you every single time now. If you're going to kick the front leg as soon as he steps. That's it. No more.
Well, interesting call there from the corner. Don't kick anymore. It's putting you off balance. Seasoned fighters would want to be able to kick from all angles, and I think Clay can. I think he can kick from all angles. Just once he gets his momentum going, a little bit over-eager. But Aumitagi with his weight, if he kicks and he kicks long underneath the hands, unload with the punches and then bring the kicks in underneath, the kick hitting Haddara's lead thigh will give him the support to balance.
Well, is anyone's for the taking here in the third round of action. Haddara again calling Aumitagi on. The game plan is to sucker him in, make him miss and then follow up on Aumitagi. It hasn't happened so far. Inside thigh kick there from Haddara. Aumitagi pushing him to the perimeters. And Haddara, who often likes to hold on to the rope while he does execute those leg kicks, will have to be careful not to do it too often. Dropping left hand to the breadbasket there from Aumitagi. Didn't quite connect for him. And he has to keep the pressure on. It is anyone's for the taking. Third and final round. Evan Malcolm Bullner trying to encourage both of these guys. Come on, fellas. Pick up the work rate. Under K1 rules, it's all about work rate.
Well, looking at the next round, Michael, both of these fighters, obviously they're going into the third round. They'll do their 3 rounds, or just shy if there's a KO. Who's going to be the fresher? Chris Oppolides hasn't even worked 1 round yet, so whoever's going to transpire in the next round just wants to get busy, get in and then out. But all these knocks are going to take a toll.
Some mind games in centre ring by Haddara. Not the first time that he's shrugged off the spinning back fist from Aumitagi, and Aumitagi's got to be careful not to bow into those round kicks. A back fist nowhere near the mark there from Haddara.
Good ghost back fist.
And he's doing a little bit of the shoulder Sugar Ray shuffle in centre ring. Doesn't want to showboat too much or he'll get a right hand to the kisser for his troubles. All the way from South Auckland.
Clay just doesn't have the energy, the zap to take advantage of the showboating of Haddara. If he was fresh, he'd be right on him. He's actually just opting to sit back, breathe it up and try and get his energy stocks up again.
Haddara calling him on again. Aumitagi just smiles at him, takes a deep breath, and here he goes. Okay, I'm coming for you. Overhand right. Haddara says, you haven't hurt me, but at the same time, Haddara has to fight back.
Well, he's landing those leg kicks, Michael. You've got to score them. Let's not get too focused on the showboating, because Haddara is just pinging at range, although it might not be 100% power. If it lands, it's a point. You've got to score it, and that's probably more than what Aumitagi's doing at the moment.
Inside thigh kick again there from Haddara, holding the rope again. Malcolm Bullner keeping a close eye on that. But just a kick spinning back fist, wild looping left hand there from Aumitagi, and the win from that one might have knocked Haddara out. How much?
Have a look how low Haddara holds his hands, however. I mean, if Clay really pressured him, his head would be like just a target there for the taking. His hands are down. They're all over the place. Haddara wants to look a little bit tidier.
Haddara all smiles, leads in with the left hand, outside thigh kick to the lead thigh, and Aumitagi really sucking in the air now. He's only got another 25 seconds remaining. Back kick there from Haddara, lazy style back kick, walking around the ring. Thinks he's got this one in the bag pretty much, Fadi Haddara, and he probably has, so trying not to overexert himself with the thought of taking on Chris Christopolidis. All tied up against the ropes now, succession of knees to the rib cage there and the waist from Haddara.
Again, it's all what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, he lands the big right hand! And Haddara still standing.
Well, there's nothing more demoralising than letting a big right hand go and your opponent goes, bring it on, once it's landed. And Clay Aumitagi certainly not doing the job here tonight. Haddara, I'll give this one to him, but I'll tell you what, he wants to be a little bit more focused when he comes up against Christopolidis, because Chris is not going to let him do that sort of showboating without pressuring all the way, kicking underneath. And for my money, I'd have to say, Haddara, you want to go back into the change room with Mr. Fifield there and really get focused and switched on, because Christopolidis is certainly going to be.
Well, they're all smiles in the blue corner of Fadi Haddara. A 30-28 fight going the way of Haddara on the Hammer's unofficial scorecard. And Clay Aumitagi might have seen his opportunity to represent New Zealand and South Auckland in the K1 Oceania slip by him, Hammer.
Certainly, I think Clay has probably come in a little under conditions for this one. And Fadi Haddara is not the most conditioned fighter I've seen either, I can tell you that. And he's going to have to be a little bit more serious when he comes up against Chris Christopolidis in the next round and the final round.
Winner in the second semi-final is Chris Christopolidis.
Well, Paul Fifield,
Who will he come up against in the final later on tonight?
such a big night ahead of him. All the boys from the underworld. Kelly Seep there with Clay Aumitagi. And you feel the Hammer that if Clay Aumitagi could just trim a little bit more of that weight, he'd be such a dangerous prospect.
Well, certainly we all have to get busy, but we hear that Clay may be venturing back to New Zealand for a short time to possibly head up a gym over there, open up a new gym in conjunction with the Cepho boys. This is what has been bandied around, and possibly the last time we might see Clay down under, unless, of course, he catches one of the flights over and we see him again.
We hope so. He's a gentleman and a character and a great athlete, Clay Aumitagi. And Fadi Haddara looking full of confidence that he's got this decision in the bag.
Well, that's on my unofficial scorecard.
Exactly.
I presume that, you know, stranger things have happened.
Let's go to Michael Roberts with the decision.
Now, just tonight, 3 judges tonight. Mark Corey scored the fight 30-28. Bryce Birtwistle scored the fight very closely, 29-28. Jamal Hassan, our third judge, 29 even, 29 all. The winner on points, Haddara.
Well, there you have it, Hammer. The fighting Haddara takes it by a decision. A few controversial ones in there too.
I'll tell you what,
Former in New South Wales all of a sudden.
My old trainer, Bryce Birtwistle, I'll tell you what, we'll have a chat. Yeah, a little bit astray there, but Mark Corey, he was right on the money. Our scorecards matching, of course. There you see Haddara showboating. He wants to get a little bit more focused, though. It's good to showboat when you're totally confident, totally fit and ready and all the rest of it.
You know, Hammer, they've called for a long time Fadi Haddara the great white hype, the great white hope of K1 Oceania, really. I remember Dixon McIver actually giving him that tag because he does have a lot of potential. He's a hard boy to knock out. If he can really put it together and skill himself up, he will be a hard man to stop, Fadi Haddara.
Yes, Michael, you know, I can see that Haddara has got a lot of heart. He is a very tough fighter.
But the skill factor obviously needs to be improved a lot.
He just needs to sharpen up, get fitter. Obviously, he's carrying a bit of weight there to make, you know, it's very hard in K1. Let me just qualify what I'm saying. You're trying to get up into that super heavyweight ranks. Possibly you're 6'3", 6'4". Naturally, you're not that heavy, but you're just trying to get the weight on to be competitive with the guys that are 130 kilos. You know, and sometimes it's very hard to put on quality muscle. well, not chemically enhanced. Anyway, let me just qualify that as well.
Although that said, there are a lot of guys at a heavier weight who can carry it well. Just look at the K1 World Champion Mark Hunt, for example.
It comes down to genetics. Some people are born with naturally big bone, naturally heavy, and then you've got the guys that are trying to get up there for the big bucks. And, you know, it's very hard to put that weight on quality muscle.
Well, it is set for the